This is an LMT. I believe it's 7¼ inches. They're LM8 style upper receiver. So this is the Mars or MRP monolithic rail platform. So the handguard and the upper are all one piece. There's no separation here. It's supposed to give added strength, rigidity, and also a better mounting platform for optics or sights, scopes, whatever. So these are kind of a limited run. Don't always see these from LMT. It's a real shorty. I think this was initially developed for their PDW MP5 replacement, which I think is a 9-inch 300 blackout barrel that they were going to use with this. I got this with a 5.56 barrel. I got this with a 10.5-inch chrome LMT barrel. If you're not familiar with this system, you can pretty much use any barrel with the MRP uppers. There are two nuts that thread into the side of the receiver, and so you can use pretty much any upper with any compatible barrel by caliber. So that's kind of a handy thing about this MRP style that LMT came out with. The other thing is their lowers are fully ambidextrous, which is kind of nice. One note here about this LM8. This is a proprietary rail system. Some people complain about it. They call it a cheese grater, but I have this on this setup, and I also have it on the 308 AR10 setup. You can see the sling attachment points it's got up front. It's got a sling attachment point on the left side. That's one complaint I do have with this LMT system is I don't know why they didn't put a sling attachment on the right side as well. Like the Geisley has a sling attachment up here on their handguard on both sides, and they just didn't put one on the side closest to the ejection port on the left side. It's only on the left side, not the right side, so no big deal. You can buy an attachment, a QD attachment, or you can use the QD end plate to get another point of attachment. I'm going to go through the weights on these. I have a pistol lower that I'm going to be using. This is a Franklin Armory pistol lower, and not too shabby. I don't have any time behind this. The one thing I don't like about this, I think this is a proprietary buffer and end plate, so not a big deal there, but if you wanted to get a stabilizing brace or something with this Franklin Armory, I think you'll have to change the buffer tube. Also going to be running a Aero breech, and then I do have a RMR sitting around with this UTG riser for 1/3, lower 1/3, and that's gonna come in handy. And then some Magpul, just their basic backup sights. This is the upper that came with that Franklin pistol, and you can see here where it's a 2-piece threaded and screwed in style versus the LMT, which is just one solid doodad. So I mean, not that creates any major issues, but just one of their selling points for the LMT MRP system. And then I think this is a 9-inch barrel on here. So my trusty postal scale here. We will weigh the upper. 1 pound, 3 ounces, basically, is what the upper weighs. So it's, you know, space grade aluminum, they say. And that's obviously without the bolt or the charging handle, but that is pretty light. The barrel, 1 pound, 11 ounces. So that's about 1 3/4 pound. Add the upper, you're looking at 2 pounds and about 3 pounds, 2 pounds, 15 ounces, we'll add an LMT bolt, 3 pounds, 10 ounces. We will add some sights, add the sights, add the red dot, 3 pounds, 15 ounces. And last but not least, charging handle, 4 pounds, 1 ounce. So just the upper receiver, barrel, charging handle, and the bolt is 3 pounds, 11 ounces. And just to show you one more time, the upper and the barrel, 2 pound, 15 ounces, 1 pound, 3 ounce for the upper, and 1 pound, about 1 pound, 12 ounces for the barrel. So the way this works is every LMT barrel has this groove here for the front screw. So take the screws out. There is a washer right here. That washer is very important. And then you slide the barrel down, making sure the gas tube sits in the little slot there on top. And then you have to make sure that the barrel fully seated. There's like a little crown. There's a little crown, and you can see it right there. The way to tell that it's fully seated is you'll look through, and then this gap here will allow the front screw to thread in. I've noticed the first couple times I put new barrels into a new receiver, I will have to tap it down just lightly, putting downward pressure with my hand. I'm only using one hand right now, but just tap it down without slamming the forward assist, and it'll seat. Just gotta do it, be a little gentle. Once the barrel is fully seated against that crown, you know you're done. And you can just double check by making sure these holes are clear. Then put the washer and tighten down the screws. And then these will need to be torqued. I don't have the LMT tool. What I bought from Amazon is this Lexavon. This is a Taiwanese. I have another video about this. These are all Torx. So I bought this set to be able to use Torx with a ratchet and my torque wrench. So I got this set to be able to use it with ratchets, because it's the smaller ones are 1/4 inch drive. And I'll put a link to these if you want one of these. You don't have to get, I think this is actually better than getting the LMT tool, as long as you have a torque wrench, because you'll have all these different, and this is, I think this is $17 or $20. You'll get all these different bits, and you'll get a torque wrench, versus if you buy the LMT tool, you got $70 and just the tool that is only one size, and the torque spec is just for LMT upper receivers. So I would recommend doing something like this. There's a torque wrench. The torque wrench, I actually bought this for dirt bikes. Nice to have a inch-pound torque wrench for dirt bikes. So this is Tecton. Again, this is Amazon. I'll put a link. This is another Taiwanese 1/4 inch drive. Comes with a case. So here is the LMT, the manual for the MRP. It's 140 pounds. And then you can see here, it's got this open space. So when you get that torqued right, it just grips the barrel correctly. I've used the system now for a little while, and I like it. The one other complaint I have, other than they don't put a QD on the other side, is that it's rather than swapping these out, I just keep buying more and more of these monolithic uppers. So be careful if you start to get into these LMTs, because unless you're super disciplined with your spending, they're gonna get you. The whole pistol assembled. I'm getting about 5 pounds, 14 ounces. I'm having to balance it with my hand, but pretty damn light. So a couple notes here on this upper. You see the gas tube will be, it's about a 1/4 inch protruding from the end. If you don't want that, you can get the, I think it's a 9-inch upper, but that's really a non-issue. These Magpul backup sights, you can see they flip up. You can see the red dot there that they co-witness. That's one good thing about this UTG aluminum mount. Set up perfectly to co-witness. So I'll try to put a link to that as well in the description of the video down below, so you can see if that mount works for you. It's relatively inexpensive. Yeah, I've been using it for a long time, and I've been pretty happy with it. And again, these Magpul, these are again just the basic ones, and they also have a tab up front and then tab on each side to flip them up. The Franklin lower with the LMT PDW upper. Let's see Paul Allen's AR pistol. Go out and do some testing on this barrel, see what the 10.5-inch runs. I'm going to be comparing some backup sights, doing a couple other things. I got an LMT. This is a 20-incher bud 5.56, and also a lightweight 308 barrel. So I'm going to be doing some long range 5.56 with this. We'll see what LMT's 20-incher does for us. And thank you to all of our current subscribers. If you are not a subscriber, please do subscribe to the channel. We'd really, really appreciate your support. Thank you, everyone.